Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Today is FOMC. Most likely won't take anything. If I do take something, it has to be ultra clean, but on FOMC days like today, usually I don't trade. But I'm at least down to do some price action reading with you guys. Right now, some levels that are interesting today on the 1 hour higher time frame is going to be these relative equal highs here at 22 and 23. And we've got also the previous day highs. Below us, it's interesting on the daily. Price had a daily order block. Price tapped in that today, went long. I did take a long earlier in the Asia session. I'll be sharing that a bit later on. A small gain for $400. But I was just lucky I was on my computer late at night yesterday and I saw a good op to get in. All right, it's 8 o'clock now. You can see here price today in the morning. We did a rally from this fair value gap up into this SIBI here. Body stopped at the high, rejected it, created a fair value gap, came back into it, came lower. I'm not seeing much on the 15-minute chart. Let's see where we opened up yesterday. Essentially at 22. 21.99. That's where we closed that yesterday. So right now we're trading above yesterday's open or close. 70 points to the upside. The trade I took earlier today was in the it was in the London session, or sorry, Asia session. It's taken right here. What price did early on, and you can study this. This rarely happens, but when it does, and if you're looking at the charts, then it's a decent trade. But right at the open, right at today's open, which was at 6 o'clock Eastern, price dropped. This was the disturbance of price, and then it rallied back up to the end dog. What I saw is I probably got on the computer around 7 7:10 or so. On the 5-minute chart, it was a lot cleaner. But what price did is it created a very healthy bearish order block, a BISI. And I got in once price dug into the midpoint of it, and I took it long. It was a very small trade. It was only a couple of micros, I think 450 per account. But that was my trade from earlier today. And I could have held it longer too. I wanted to hold it to these equal highs here, this high, as liquidity was resting there, but I had a feeling price could just reject this and dog and go lower. I don't want to trade. That was today's trade. Right now, price is messy. I don't see anything that can be taken. You can see on the 15-minute here, it's just moving sideways here from 5:30 from the London lunch. But these levels right here are very interesting. Relative equal highs. What I like to do is I like to extend yesterday's first week opening gap all the way to today. So the first week, or the first fair value gap from yesterday was at 943. Do this, extend right. All right. So here is a level that price will respect, and you can actually see how it respected all of yesterday and even today during the Asia session. Like price went to it, came down, back into it, came down, and then finally broke through, and it used it as support. Support at 1210, at 1235. You can see here price has been sitting around in it. But like you can see the wicks or the bodies are staying within this first fair value gap from yesterday. So it's really good to have these on your chart. Additional confluence, additional levels. There's medium impact news coming out at 8:30. We've got building permits, and then at 2 o'clock we've got FOMC. So if you do guys trade today, should be out of your trades the latest by 10:30. The 50-minute candle is closing in 20 seconds. Today might be a really sloppy day because of FOMC. You guys backtest days like this. Price ICT concepts still work. It's just slightly messier than what you want it to be. So do keep that in mind. Price is probably heading to DC lows here. To get liquidity here below this low. And then the new liquidity that we're looking for is right here and above the price right here. You can see this fair value gap, it inverted. Price broke to the downside. Right now, price on the 15 seconds is really choppy because it's pre 9 o'clock. The closer we get to 9:30, you'll see these 15-second candles start filling in more. But as of right now, nothing that I would put my money behind. There you go. Probably going to be a little drop here to 56. All right, 58 was tagged. And up next, we've got 50. Even though sometimes we know that price is going to drop, we have to figure out a place to put a stop loss and make sure that the trade is at least 1 RR, if not 2. If I went short here, because I had a feeling price would at least hit this level, where would I put my stop, right? That's where things get a bit tricky because price can always reverse, come back up to this inversion fair value up and drop lower. But once price tags that, we have some more equal lows resting here. All right, so that's tagged. That's tagged. what price could do is it could drop down to these equal lows here and then start reversing and start pushing to the upside again. Looking at the higher time frames, it is entering the bullish 50-minute fair value gap. Got a bearish order block here. There you go. It's taken the liquidity from these two lows. It left these two intact and it's pushing higher now. This 15-minute fair value gap is holding well. If we see a bullish close here above it, most likely the highs are going to get tapped again. Let's see how it's going to react to this inversion here. It's creating volume balances while going up. That's indicating bullish strength on the 1 minute. The 50-minute candle will close in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Look what it did on the 1 hour. There was a tiny imbalance here that it went to. Tapped it and pushed higher. So overall, if you look at order flow and where we're at in the market, the 1 hour is bullish, right? Ever since yesterday or today in the morning, you can see price respecting order flow. We've got a bearish order block here, a pump higher. another pump to the higher side, and then we filled in these two imbalances here, and price right now I think is going to start attempting to break these opposing PDAs. The downside to taking this long right now is just these equal lows here that I see. F5, F550. The one thing that's throwing me off. And technically on the 1 minute that we have an MMS, we will once we break 2270. Is there a market structure shift for that? Yeah, I guess technically here with this high wick, but if you're looking at bodies, then it would be right here. We do have a volume balance here that I might trade to and reject from and go higher. And it looks like it's punishing to the downside. All right, that's been tapped. Nice. Nice. Hey, do you have any news today? Oh, hey, wish me well. Market maker moose. Do you have any news today? It's just FOMC. So we might see not so clean price action today. Expecting 2242 today. 2242. 22. I don't know if we're expecting that number. That's pretty high up. I think looking at the daily, I think we're still in a bullish trend. So nothing here is indicating that today is going to be a downward close. So I'm expecting previous day highs to be taken, and for us to get long. That's my overall bias today, is longs. What I'm seeing right now is the market setting up a little trap for us to take later on right here at 83. Where's price going to next? We've got more relative equal lows below us on the 1 minute. And then it might be going to yesterday's first fair value gap. I don't know. But right now, what the price is doing, it's slowly starting to break. Like if this candle here closes below this fair value gap, you might be going lower into this one right here on the 15-minute chart. But as of right now, my read right now is 50-50 on the market. And when it's like this, where I can't really figure out what it wants to do, I don't trade. And I think all of you here, like if you guys don't know what the market's going to do, just don't trade it. Wait for like the super obvious clean setups and take that trade. Even if it's like twice a week, like you guys, that's how you'll be 99% of the market, of just being very picky with your trades. Like this was a tough long. If you guys got in long, because there's just this risk here of liquidity sitting right below it, and we've got more liquidity here. But if it taps this liquidity, goes into this 15-minute fair value gap, creates some kind of market structure shift to the upside, that's when we might start taking things to the upside. But we will see. We will see. Like, look what price did here. It kind of didn't hit these equal relative lows. And now it's going to the upside. So would I go long from here? No, never. Just asking to possibly get punished. Oh, my bad on MNQ, LOL. Previous day high is what I meant. Yes, previous day high. That's what I'm looking for right now. We are in such an uptrend right now. Going short would be the tougher direction to go today. Not saying that the market can't go lower. It's just right now, the way I'm seeing the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the daily, all higher time frames, they're pointing up. Like what would I be expecting today at the open? Right now we're 50 points above the open, getting to that midpoint, maybe yesterday's first fair value gap, and then going to the upside. That would be ideal. That'd be perfect. My top step X right now is even closed. I'm not even opening it. on FOMC days. If I see something super juicy, I'll open it up, but as of right now, it's closed. And the tricky thing right now is today's the 18th. We've got tomorrow might be the last real trading day. Let's see what's tomorrow's news. Thursday. All right, we have unemployment claims at 8:30. Okay, that's okay. So I'm seeing tomorrow as a decent trading day. And then on Friday, we've got core PCE price index at 8:30. So I feel like we have 2 more trading days left over the next week and a half. And then we got Monday, we got Christmas, 24th, 25th, 26th. That 27th, I probably wouldn't trade on that Friday. The week after, we have NFP. So from the 30th, then we got New Year's, which is a holiday for the whole world, most likely. NFP on the 3rd. And then I think I'm going to be back trading on the 6th. So after this week, probably recommend for everyone here to take a 2-week break from trading. Clear your mind, watch some ICT videos, take some notes. That's what I'll be doing. I'm going to be re-watching just previous lectures that he had and just trying to pick up on things that I haven't done before. And to give all of you an example of something that he said yesterday on one of the streams I was watching. It's actually really cool. So here, let me draw you a picture here. So we're going to do this, like this, like this, like that. Okay, so basically he said, when you have, so this here would be a bearish breaker, right? And he said, if there are any buy side imbalances, sell side inefficiencies on the way up after the breaker, but before the market structure shift, do anticipate that price is going to get there. So don't expect it to just get to the breaker and drop, but price most likely might go to this BISI, which may sit, hold on, this was the example that he showed yesterday, which may sit right here. And what you want to do when it comes to putting in a position is getting in on this BISI going up, which may be above the breaker, and then having your stop above it. So this would be a very high precise entry point. So I'm going to be looking for the next couple of weeks for market structure shifts with a BISI going up, or opposite, if this was reversed, a SIBI going down. And I'm going to see how often price is going to get to this BISI here and kind of surpass the breaker before dropping lower. So this model here, I will be looking for. You prefer pre-market open to FOMC days? I don't even trade pre-markets at all on FOMC days. I just decided to get on stream today and see how messy or how clean price action will be today, and if something is going to be executable. So you can see right now, price, what did it do? It's in the sell program here. This dark green fair value gap that I have here is yesterday's first fair value gap. So we'll see how it rejects or respects it. But right now, price is dropping like a rock. Oh, look at that rejection there. Look at this, guys. Price closed exactly, or one tick below the open of yesterday's fair value gap before it reversed ever so slightly. So it's just interesting to see this stuff happen over and over again. The first fair value gaps is by far my favorite PDA. It's just so easy to trade off of it. Not saying that you should be trading off of it here. It could possibly reverse and start going higher from here, but it's just interesting how it got respected here. But if you guys want, take a screenshot of this and try to, like, this is going to be the breaker. Bearish breaker. And then here you'd have some kind of BISI going on the way up. So this is going to be the fake out move. This is going to be the shark attack. Going to drop lower. It's going to come back higher. And actually a really good position to have your stop when you see this kind of structure in the market is actually right above the breaker's high. So you're entering at that BISI, the low of the BISI, which can be within the breaker. Your stop's going to be right at the high. There's a wick here above that high, and then you'll be targeting whatever level. And here's going to be your market structure shift. MMS. So I'm going to add this to my entry criteria when it comes to trading market reversals at key interest points on higher time frames when there is a BISI present on the way up before the market structure shift. Does this make sense, guys? This is something that ICT said it's a very high probable trade. And everything that's high probability, I add it to my portfolio. All right. The price is closing within the lower half of the 15-minute fair value gap here. You can see how this top's very rounded here. Yeah, this is more indication that price is going to get to this level. Today is Wednesday. If you look at the weeklies, screaming bulls, dailies, like if price were to go lower, how much lower would it go until my buys shifts to the short side? It's going to be once it surpasses the midpoint of this wick here. So what's a wick? It's also an inefficiency. Once it gets below this daily level, that's when I'm going to get a bit skeptical and I'll say, okay, maybe we're not going higher. So that's kind of my bias change at 835. But so far, what I'm seeing here is we're still bullish on the daily. Price closing the gap. Are you on the right contract? Price closing the gap. I don't know. Am I on the right contract? Yeah, I'm on NQZ 2024. If you're looking, hey Alec, are you looking at MNQ or NQ? Because they both trade a bit differently. And if you're trading MNQ, what I recommend is looking at NQ's charts, but trading MNQ on your broker. If that's like on Top Step or Apex, that's what I'd recommend. MNQ, there you go. That's a difference. MNQ. Price is just different on MNQ versus NQ. It's very similar, but it's a bit different. So I made that mistake early on as well when I started learning about it, but do your analysis on NQ, not on MNQ. And then if you're trading off of TradingView, then have like a separate window open for MNQ and just trade off of that one window, but analysis should be on NQ. All right, we are at the end dog of today. We're blasting through it. Oh, we had news today at 8:30. I completely forgot about that. 8:30. There you go. So that push there was news. The red line is yesterday's close. And the way things are shaping up right now is most likely we won't get a pretty large RTH gap. And the rule state, at least my rule state, and what you'll be seeing on my live stream, if this gap isn't higher than 40 or 50 points, then I'm waiting till 10 o'clock to take a trade. You can see price right now is trading below the end dog. Okay. These high here's are really suspicious. So this could be the pre-market Judah. Again, today's FOMC. It's a highly manipulated day. But we'll see if there's something clean today on today's trade. Let's see how this end out gets respected now. I broke it, but to the downside. Coming back up. Would you guys look for now, since price has already delivered sell side? Well, you're looking for buys. Technically, sell side has been delivered. Will it continue delivering? It could. What am I looking for? So Alex today is FOMC day. So price is more manipulated than it is on other days. We're looking for clean entries that provide an opportunity to go short or long based on key levels. So if I was going long right now, my bias would be on what? I'm trading against this massive drop here. So I'm anticipating that I'm going to be essentially catching the knife here and assuming that the end dog is going to be supporting price and it's just going to go higher. It has to break through every single sell side PDA that was created, including this fair value gap here. It's going to have to break yesterday's first fair value gap as well. And then once it gets to a higher level, there's a higher probability of it going higher. But as of right now, like even on the 50-minute chart, like you can see all PDAs are being broken to the downside. Like where is price going to go right now? It's a 50-50 right now, Alec, for me. I might be weighted more to one side than the other, but I think when it comes to executing trades on your prop step accounts, you want to make sure that you're absolutely confident, that your confidence is above 70% before taking that trade. If you're 50-50, you kind of think it's going to go long, but it's not going to go long. That's where you start blowing counts. Like you take one loss and then you're like, oh shit, that was a really bad trade. I was trading into the dark green first fair value gap. It was against the trend. There was a market structure shift. There was really nothing indicating that it's going to go long. And sometimes you might be right. Like you take the gamble and price reverses there, right? But it's about being consistent, taking the same setup over and over again and finding your edge that way. That's kind of how I see it. What we're looking for ultimately is to see where price is going to attack the market, create some disruption, and then turn around and go the other way. We're looking for smooth highs and we're looking for jagged lows. If I saw right now a massive spike up to the upside like this, coming back lower, I would be taking this long right here because that would be the disruption. It would be a very fast, sharp rejection off of all these levels. And that would be indication, okay, we're going up right now. But as of right now, price hasn't showed anything to me yet that it's going to be reversing. Look what it did here. Came up to the sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, so the SIBI, and I just rejected it. And now it's sitting above the end dog, right? It's just sitting between all these key levels here. Like this for me, like it's in between these two levels. I think it's going to go more short right now than long, but I don't know. It's still a 50-50 here. There's nothing here that is worth trading, in my opinion. When I pull the most money out of prop firms and my trades are the best, it's usually when I'm calm, I'm collected, I wait for the right setups, and I don't take chances trying to say, oh, it might reverse here, I'm going to buy. And then right when that goes against you, you start a really bad path to blow out, which is taking a revenge trade and then taking another revenge trade to make up that trade, because you don't want to end the day on a negative, right? But I don't mind ending the day on a negative when my trade was a good trade. I think we're going to go for the Asia lows for reversal attempt. Asia lows, which is right here. 6 o'clock. Price could do that. I don't think it will. That's if price does get this low, it might continue dropping lower. But if we look at key levels as Asia highs and Asia lows, that's where usually price tends to go. Asia high is going to be the highest high before 5 o'clock, which is right here. Right? This is the AH. Right. Not much significant there. And then the Asia low is at the Asia actually starts at 8 o'clock, technically. 8 o'clock, which is right here. Is this what you're referring to, Alec? That is the lowest low at 8 a.m. Or sorry, 8 p.m. Eastern. So it could, you're right. That's a possible level that it might target. Once it hits this, probabilities are higher that it's going to reverse and go higher. So it hits this, it reverses, it breaks the end dog, it breaks up yesterday's first fair value gap. I see some good displacement. And then that's where I think taking a long might make sense. But by the time that happens, we'll be close to the open as well. So do keep that in mind. Asia's low. Oh, that's interesting. It's actually yesterday's closing price as well. Interesting to see. We closed yesterday at essentially 21,999. I think yesterday was a really hard day to trade. I didn't trade it either because it was after a large range day. But I saw some people or some of my close friends trying to trade this, and it was definitely, look at this, it's just going sideways. Trade away from the opening gap, back to it, away from it, got to midpoint finally. And then after 12, price kind of died, and it was in a high resistant liquidity run all the way down. Okay, Asia lows have been tapped right now. We are at yesterday's closing. Okay, so what I want to see from price right now is a very strong displacement to the upside. That would be indication one that he might be reversing. I don't want to see this to break the end dog. Market structure shift would be above this high right here. And then once you surpass this first fair value gap, that's when confidence is going to go even higher, that it's going to go higher. I'm short 58.5, just exited just now. I shorted 58.5. Oh, very nice. Right here, eh? Oh, 58.5. Yeah, that was good short there. Good short. You still had relative equal lows there. And then, yeah, good trade. The one thing I didn't like is these equal relative highs that you're trading away from. But there were downside targets as well. So good trade, wish me well. Good trade. All right. price. Where are you going to? The trade I took yesterday was right here. For those who haven't seen it, it was based on. So I do trade Asia sometimes, and when I do, I make sure I don't trade the 1 minute. But it was a very clean trade, and it was a very simple analysis where price opened up with a massive Judah to the downside. This is the disruption of all the longs, and then it crawled itself back up to this level right here, which is the new day opening gap, and that's where I took profits. So I took it when price on the 5 minute created a fair value gap. It traded back below it. I took it once it hit midpoint, and then I took it higher. I really wish I targeted this level here, but I didn't. It would have essentially doubled out my profits. It was small. It was only $400 per account. It was tiny. And I don't usually trade Asias, and I risk very little here, but I saw the move. I'm like, it makes sense. It's a part of my strategy. I'm leveraging the new day opening gap, the shark attack, right? The Judah to the downside. And when I saw this, I'm like, what is the chance of price going back down? Very low versus getting back up to the opening and taking these highs out. Oh, thanks, Wish. Let's move back to the 1 minute. Okay. Got the opening in 29 minutes. Like, if you guys wanted to get short from here, I just don't know where it's going to go. Like, nothing here makes sense. The downside, like we've got this 15-minute fair value gap here that it traded to, but like there's just the risk right now, the risk versus reward, definitely to the upside. Daily still bullish. Let's see the 4 hour here. Look at the 4 hour. All these bodies are just sitting within this fair value gap here on the 4 hour. Still fairly bullish here. Price at 6 o'clock, it did dip into this fair value gap here. Rally higher, so. And that's how I create high probability trades as well. Just look at the higher time frames, see what they're doing, drill down from daily 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, and then 1 minute, and create your bias and see what makes sense and where risk should be sitting and where you'd be okay losing money ultimately if your bias is wrong. Because you will be wrong. If you're really good, you'll be wrong 40% of the time. I'm right 50-50. Not even. My strike rate's 48%. No, it's 45% over the last month. So out of 100 trades, 45 are right, 55 are wrong. But if the R is there, you're in the positives. My goal is over the next 6 months to hit 50-50. I think that'll massively increase my gains. But I realized the delta for me, at least, is just patience. The trades that don't go well sometimes, I do take C+ trades. I get a bit cocky after 3 or 4 wins in a row, and then bam, it's a loss. So you have to make sure that your wins don't get to your head. You don't feel like a trading god. Okay. Okay, so that's so looking at the 1 hour right now. We've got a very bullish close. And by bullish, I mean bearish. Opening is in 26 minutes. We still have no market structure shift on the 1 minute. Price did take Asia lows. Honestly, Wish, good trade, man. I'm looking at this run. This was a nice run to be a part of. Did you partial on the way down, Wish? Like once it surpassed like 41 and once it hit yesterday's first fair value up, or did you just hold it all the way to the end? I'm trying to see if I'm looking at any PDA right now that I might respect and go higher, but there still is no MMS that's formed. I want to see if I can see if price wants to respect something here. On the 15 second, we've got the very first PDA that it might start trading price against, which is this 15 second fair value gap. It holds almost zero weight, but we'll see. The ways the bodies are closing, they are respecting the fair value gap, but they are closing on the bottom side of it, which means that it could be possibly broken to the downside. So always do keep that in mind. So yeah, good trade. Good trade. Price inverted that 15 second fair value gap right here to the downside. Looking bearish. We're going to tag these lows, most likely. I did just take a micro scalp for $100. Don't recommend taking trades like this, but it was essentially on the 15 second once I saw this rejection and this inversion. It was a 1-to-1. It was a one micro trade. Again, not a model I usually trade, but we are waiting for the larger moves here. Looking at the 4 hour here, 4 hours closing in 50 minutes. It's going to be a very bearish close. One level that we'll be looking at here is the midpoint of this low test. This level right here. We wouldn't want to see price breaking below it. It starts tipping your hand against you that price might be going further down than up. But again, always look at midpoints in downwick and upwick candles and how price respects it. Opening in 21 minutes. Mm-hmm. I'm trading off my phone right now. I wouldn't manage it like I wanted to. Yeah, that's definitely tough, trading off your phone. I've never done it yet. I used to back in the day, but not anymore. So right now we are moving away from yesterday's close, which is nice. I do like to see large RTH gaps. What price did on the 15 minute is it did create ultimately a market structure shift, the downside now. Like here's the MMS. Like once price starts doing this stuff, it starts changing my bias a bit. But here is the 15 minute. And you have to be always flexible about your bias and how it could possibly change with the market. But we were very bullish on all time frames, including the 15 minute, until we got down below this low here. We've shifted to the downside. And the question is where does price want to go from here? Good morning. Oh, Doug's up. Doug's in the house. Hey, Doug. So the plan for today is going to be see where, and usually I never ever take a trade 15 minutes before the open, but see how we open, see how big the RTH gap is, find the first fair value gap that forms, see how we respect it, see where we are in terms of market sentiment, and then create a bias, either long or short. If we open below it, we might be taking longs at the midpoint. If we open above, again, it might be what I would ultimately want to see is price in the next 20 minutes get up higher, create a bullish RTH gap. We trade down to it, and then we take away from it, and we start attacking the highs that have been left so smoothly for us. But I can't marry this idea. I have to be flexible on things possibly changing. So the MMS, if we do get one, it would be above this high here. But remember, we want to see like a sharp knee-jerk reaction from here. If not, it's probably going to continue going lower. There's some unknown level here. Where's the next fair value gap that it might attack on the 15 minute? Right here. And once it breaks this, it's most likely heading lower. Hey, Dom, are you funded? Or hey, Claris, I'm funded. I think getting funded is probably one of the easiest things you can do. It's ultimately 2 win days in a row of $1,500 to get a 50K. And then if you just buy 5 accounts for $250, you it's I think the flex is if someone has a live Top Step account. So whenever Top Step decides that you're profitable enough that you're taking too much money from them, they switch over to live. So I'm hoping the next 2 months I get pushed to a live account, or I'll email them and I'll ask them to push me to one. But as of right now, I'm on Express account. I think over the last 2.5 months, I did around 25,000 of withdrawals. I do have a video on it. And the goal for the next 3 months, like by March, I do want to hit 75K withdrawals. So I want to double what I did over the last 3 months. Price is dropping. We're 25 points below yesterday's close. Yeah, so what they do is they give you the delta of what you've made on the 50K. So let's say you're 10K positive on each 50K account. They're going to give you the option of transferring how much of that you want out into your own personal, and then they create that live with it. So if you have 5 50K accounts and they all have 10K profits, they're going to take all that 10K, put it onto one account, and it's going to be one 50K live account. And they'll give you the option then of taking how much you want out of that 50K out into your own personal account. So my recommendation is just take 50% out of it. So you have 50K banked, take 25K out, pay yourself, even trade that separately on your own broker. So you're not really using the rules, and then trade the remaining 25K and start scaling that up. Back in the day, what TopStep did is you could have up to 5 live accounts at one time. No, sorry, 1 live account and 5 express accounts, so 6 accounts total. But I think what was happening is the profitable traders that had live accounts were just pulling too much money away from express accounts. So what they decided to do is once you have a live account, you can't have express accounts. So it was purely a business decision on their end. Do I have a Discord? I do have one. I don't have a Discord channel, Alec. I think down in the future, the plan is I'm going to want to create some kind of crash course on all the lessons I've learned from ICT. And it's going to take me a couple 100 hours to build out. And then that's when I might have my own Discord. But for now, I'm just kind of sharing my analysis here on YouTube. Alec, only TopStep. I have really bad experiences with Apex because at one point I had 20 50K accounts with Apex. I spent 4K on them, getting them, and then paying the freaking activation fee, which was $3,000. And once I had my 10 trading days and I was in a net positive, I asked for a withdrawal of 1.5K per account, which would have been, and they rejected it. They said that my risk, what did they say? They said my risk wasn't consistent over the last 10 days, and they rejected the payout. So I traded 10 more days after that, asked for a payout once more, and they declined. So I canceled them. Yeah. Don't worry. I have a picture of your username. So do not use Apex, guys. Only TopStep. I think TopStep's the best. And if you guys want to diversify, doesn't make sense either, because TopStep's the best. Very fast payouts. If you have a Wise account, it's one day and you have your money. No hassle approvals. So that's my recommendation, guys. Only TopStep. And if you guys have the money and you guys are somewhat consistent, just do 5 at a time. It's only $250. It's so cheap. But if you guys want to build that capital and buy additional express accounts with your funds, then start off with 1, get a payout, then buy your second one and start scaling up until you have 5. Do I recommend going above 50K? No, because trading above 5 minis, that's definitely very hard to do, because you can blow your account extremely fast if you're wrong with 5 minis. You can make a shitload of money, or you can blow your account really fast. So the 100K account, the 150K account, it's nice that you have that additional RR to the downside. But if you manage your risk correctly on a 50K account and you scale it up slowly and surely, the trailing drawdown doesn't matter, because once you get above 2K, that trailing drawdown disappears. So we technically had I'm not our first market structure shift here on the 1 minute. Don't add a lot of weight to it. I'm just indicating what's happening here on the market. This for me isn't an MMS that'll trade off of, because it has to be at a logical level on the higher time frame for me to take a long off of, right? So here we've dropped into the abyss right now over the last 1 hour. Could price react from this and go higher? It could, right? But the market opens in 10 minutes. There's going to be heavy manipulation in 10 minutes. And we are going to have to see what the market's going to show us, if it's going to tip our hand, and if we can take a position long or short. I can't use Top Step because my country is on the restricted list. I'm literally switching away from passing the 50K count, but I won't be able to withdraw any profit. Nice, man. Congratulations. That's really unfortunate. What I would do is, if I had a friend or family living in a non-restricted country, I would open up a VPN, trade off their computer, ask them to wire the money to their bank account, and just ask for e-transfers. That's what I would do. You should go around Top Step's policies, and they should never be able to flag you. But listen, if you are running with Apex, like Apex does do payouts. It's just they had to pay me out 30K, and they just didn't feel like doing it for some reason. So that was very disheartening, because it took me over a month to make that money, like 10 trading days, and also get above the $6,000 threshold plus an extra 2K. I was really pissed off. And then what I did after not getting my payout is I revenge traded on Top Step X, and then I lost 5 accounts instantly, because I tried making up the $30,000 that I did over a month within 1 day, and that never turns out. So Apex really put me on tilt. But I learned my lesson. Don't trade with Apex. So building, because you never know, at some point might remove it from the restricted list. Yeah. Right now, they are the head of the list. Claris, what country is restricted right now? Curious. Albania. Oh. Yeah, they're a bit funny with the rejection. 8 minutes till open, guys. Price right now is moving to yesterday's closing price, which is this red dash here. You can see here, it's that first MMS that has happened in the last 1 hour. I did respect price. It did pop a bit higher. Right now, it's just sitting within the SIBI, but it's on the upside right now, price. So it's probably going to break to the upside here. Or it might keep the bodies, but most likely it's going to start breaking to the upside. But then it has to break through yesterday's closing, the end dog, yesterday's risk value gap. There's a lot of targets that it needs to break before it gives us full confidence that it's going to go higher. So launch from here, ultra low probability, especially with the open in 7 minutes. But my goal by end of February is to get on that top 25 Top Step list. So I just need to be very patient with my trades, and I'll get there. Once I do it, I'll post it here on the channel or something, or create a video of it, of how I got to top 25. That's probably going to be the biggest accomplishment in the next quarter that I'm putting for myself. When I started using Top Step, Albania wasn't on the list. I only found out that oh, that sucks. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, you work so hard for these payouts, and then these rules come in saying, hey, not today, junior. What are we going to get today? See, even though we had a 1 minute market share shift, price reacted to it. And then the first opposing PDA just got smashed back down. There's just too much bearish pressure right now. Opening in 5 minutes. Nice. So where the fun begins. So remember, guys, today's FOMC. Within the next hour, we should be out of all trades if we do manage to catch one. Because price gets really weird after 10:30. But we'll see if there's something clean today. Right now, I'm not loving the size of this RTH gap. Only 14 points. Three and a half minutes still open. It's going to be a very anemic opening today. 15 points. So again, my overall bias is I do want to see, based on higher time frames, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, just looking at the overall trend here, and even the 1 hour, I am still looking for highs to be taken today. I'm going to be looking for price to show me something that it did hit the low and it is going higher, and trying to catch a trend to the upside. What I don't like is the heavy close on the 1 hour, possibly on the 4 hour. And it just broke so many levels down to the, like on the 15 minute. So this could be considered as the pre-market Judah, and it might rally higher. So this is not the main move. The main move is going to be higher, but we have to wait for price to show us and tip the hand on if it's going to go higher or lower. Would I be looking for shorts today? Honestly, as of right now, no. If it drops low enough, then I might look for shorts, but right now my pre-opening bias is longs may be the play. Like these highs here, this is scary to me. This is something that I've seen price draw to too many times. All right, minute left till the opening. I used to trade Forex back in the day, but I stopped doing that. Price is way too, compared to NQ. Many times I was right on the direction, but I always got wicked out. And this happened so many times to me that I just stopped trading FX. Just the wicks. The wick damage was insane. So it's very messy versus NQ. And I fell in love with NQ ever since then. All right. 5 seconds left till the open. And we got our anemic opening here of 20 points. Here's the midpoint of it. 70% chance it's going to get hit within the first couple of minutes. And there you go. Midpoint's hit. What would be nice to see is it filling completely the upside, come back down and trade higher. There we go. All right. First fair value gap that I'll be looking for is the one formed on the 15-second chart. It has to happen after 9:31 though. Oh, and look at that there. 9:31. So the RTH gap has been fully filled in. No mercy. Okay, 9:30. First fair value gap is right here on the 15-second chart. Let's see, our price is going to react to this 15-second fair value gap here, marked in dark green. We still don't have a first fair value gap form. How should we do? Here's the first fair value gap on the 1 minute. So reject it to the downside there. Prices is hunting lower now. Nothing is indicating that it's going to be bullish. So the next level, that's probably hitting right here at 890. It's going to be the range low. Creating fair value ups to the downside here on the 15-second. Maybe once it tags this level right here, it's going to go to the upside. This range low here. Price might be reverting back right now. Got a 1 minute bearish SIBI here. And the 5 minute. Okay, price. Rejects the SIBI here. It's most likely going to go lower to the price I indicated below, which is today's close or yesterday's close. Once it breaks these levels and it breaks above this first fair value gap here, then I'll be aiming for longs personally. Maybe a nice short move, but I do want to see a break above these first minute percent of fair value gaps. So we broke above this BISI here, or this SIBI. It's rejecting the first presented fair value gap here. First presented fair value. Again, going long from here is going to be risky just because these are very strong PDA rates that it's rejected twice already. You do want to see a breakout and then come back down, take it, and then go long. Because price can just break through this inversion here that we have. Go higher. My faith right now on this going up or down is 50-50 right now. Just need to see a bit more. Just a bit more. This was nice, this rejection right here. Indication one that it's going to go higher. Build in this buy side imbalance really nicely. If I was trading today, I'd probably commence a small scale in here. Beautiful. Keep going, price. Break above those fair value gaps. Price is closing in 5 seconds on the 1 minute. If we see this head pop above the fair value gap, that'll be an indication that it might go higher. Right now, price is sitting at the 15-second fair value gap. Is it going to reject it fully? It may. We'll see what happens with this body here in 10 seconds. Okay, price has rejected the first fair value gap here to the downside. I'm not saying that it can't go back up and through it, but this is showing you that it's being respected. Okay, we're seeing a bullish push again from the open of that fair value gap. I really hope it breaks through. If it does, then green lights for longs. once this 15-second breaks, that'd be nice to see. I think it's going to break right now from the looks of it. Come on, price. Break this fair value gap here. Do us a favor. Price trading to this 15-second fair value gap. Right here. And then we'll want to see a reaction, and they're trying to take out the 15-second first fair value gap for a third time to see if we can break to the upside here. There you go. The price is poking, what is that, a fourth time right now, trying to break it? Okay, failed to do so. This is here as our terminus. What price might do is it just may have tried to trade through it, failed, it might drop lower. But if we are taking longs today, it's going to be, this has to be broken to the upside. Is it going to break here? We have relative equal highs here on the 15-second that it created while rejecting this 15-second fair value gap. See here right now. So this is called FOMC trading. It is essentially sitting within this fair value gap. The 950 algo is starting in 2 minutes. We got an algorithm that starts at 950 all the way to 1010. Price may start spooling here. The 950 algo. So far, there's nothing tradable here. Nothing at all after the open. Very sloppy price action. Now, hold on. We are right now trading the NQH as of December. Yeah, we're trading the March contract right now. Oh, are we? Okay. Oh, that looks correct. Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry, I made a mistake here. We're trading the next contract here for NQ. Same price action, just price is a bit different. So one sec here. Every 3 months, contract changes. So first fair value gap is right there. Yeah, it has to be March 2025. That's what I thought. I need to create reminders on the calendar. Let me just switch. Okay, there you go. First fair value gap here. There you go. Okay. Same PA, so the buy still stays the same. But this is essentially a low that is of interest. It's interesting. We got this low and then we got these equal relative highs here as well. These highs were taken actually. Okay. And then we got these relative equal highs here. So these are our two levels of interest. If I see a break of this level, I think the upside target's going to be highly likely, but most likely I feel like this low is going to be tagged first. And you can see on 50 seconds chart, like it's still moving sideways. We hit 950. Not seeing much. I'm not seeing anything that I would place money behind. Here's something that was supporting price to the upside. We got a phantom trend line right here to the upside. This is retail resistance. Go long. Good. Yeah. You're right there. Then kudos to you. First thing I want to see is like this freaking fair value gap to be broken. Preferably this one right here, 15-second. That's going to be my indication that longs are on the table. And I'll be putting risk behind being wrong on that versus trying to trade into it breaking and then going to the upside. Okay. There you go. There you go. Trade higher, little boy. M and Q. I took a very smart, small, short, long right now as well on the break of this. Somewhere right there. I stop. Most likely I'm going to have it right here for now. 265. And then higher levels that can be possibly taken. You are stretching it, it's going to be these highs right here at 920. All of this is relative equalize here that can be targeted. Price might come back down to this first or value gap, reject it, and then go higher. For right now, it is in the opening range. This green bar here. Touch the high of it. Right now, I'm risking a quarter position here for this trade. If it comes in lower and rejects it nicely, I'll scale in. You can see on the 15-second chart, it touched that first fair value gap. Bodies are closing above it, which is good. If I were to give it a confidence level, I'd probably say 60% up, 40% down. I'm most likely going to partial right here. There you go. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, price? Usually on issues like this, I like to go higher, come back down to this end dog and take it. But because we had a 15-second risk or value gap here, when it came back to, once you create this fair value gap, that was an indication that this is going to act as a bullish fair value gap moving forward. Right there. But my stop right now is down here below the first 1 minute fair value gap. So we will see. We'll see what happens. But this is going to be 50% close position at 3-2-1. Price is respecting the high of this relative opening gap. That's where 80% of my target's going to be closed off at. I'm not liking how price right now is rejecting the high of the open here, but I'll still keep the trade open. This is a tiny trade for me. It's $50 down to the downside and $150 to the upside, as it's FOMC today. Yeah, I think so too. I think we're okay. This was the damage here, the shark attack, and now it's going to go higher. But we'll see. This is a 1.6 to 1 to me. Not the best RR, but... And can it continue going higher for the rest of the day? It definitely can. And I'm going to have one micro open just to see if I can bring in a couple more bucks. But days like today this is not where we risk heavy, where we risk light. You see this projection right here off of the 15-second first fair value gap? This is what you want to see. This is nice. I think we're doing okay, guys. The price has popped higher than the opening gap here, came back down, rejected it. And then most likely right now it's sitting at the end dog of yesterday. But once it breaks this level, these highs should be taken. The 930 high has been taken right now as well. Keep that in mind. Two, one. A good partial would have been right here. But because I got in so late, I have moved my stop loss to right here now. So I am risking 40% of my position. And having my stop loss right here, it's still sitting below this 15-second or close to the lows of the 15-second first fair value gap. So if it gets that low, it's going to dig in lower, and I'll be okay with a tiny loss of $30 versus the upside of whatever it is, 80. We do want to see the upper portion of the opening gap act as resistance. Something that we want to see. It came to the first quadrant there, rejected it, and it's going higher. The next level needs to break this right here before it hits those double tops on the 1 minute. If you did get lower, highly recommend partialing at least right now before we push through the next break open. Price is starting to get messy a bit here, but I'm still holding my bias that it's going to go higher. Right now, price is really messy. It's moving sideways. This is called an FOMC price action, guys. We'll hit our target. I'm still to the upside, but this is messy PA. You can see how these fair value gaps are being respected. It's coloring outside the lines, manual manipulation, intervention, things that we don't want to see in PA. I'm moving my stop loss right now to this low right here. I'm essentially break even. If price gets below that low, I'm not interested. If it gets to the low of the open or at the open. Who's in the trade right now? Anyone? Did anyone hold it to this madness? Nice, nice. I don't know. Like, this is like this is an A setup. This is like it's a C plus trading day. But you know the trade here, if you guys took it when it came back to this 15-second fair value gap and rejected, I think the most perfect entry hindsight would be right here. This here is the money spot. Right there, that purple FEG. Yeah, I think so too. It's funny, days like today, I risk very little because it's FOMC. Trades do well, but it's okay. What allows me to keep my funded accounts. Not do full risk on days like FOMC. My risk right now is like $3, $5. It's a downside. I just want to see this end dog being broken. It doesn't want to break it. So it breaks it, I make money. It doesn't break it, I'm essentially break even for the day. We got a fair value up here on the 1 minute. That's in purple. Make it blue. And I think that is, my confidence went from 60 to 70% right now for tagging these equal highs. That was a nice clean break above the end dog. Don't disappoint me, price. Keep going up. I'm going to move my stop loss right here. I'm in slight profits now. $20 per account, so $100 total. Again, pennies. This right here, this fake Judah above and below it. It is what it is. If this was a larger size position for me, I'd probably close out here. I'm not liking how it's being respected. But you can see baked to the downside, and then it's going higher here. Targets. Okay. Chance of it hitting targets. If this 1 minute closes above this gap here, I would say it's going up to 75, 80%. Just needs to stay above it. If it closes below it, then the end dog's doing its work. Again, very strong levels, well to trade through. The reason why I put my stop loss right here is just below the midpoint of this wick here, which is a gap. Once it breaks that, high chance of it taking these lows. So might as well at least get a couple of bucks out of the market. I've got 1 mini on right now. Fuck, more partials. I'm going to let this run to the good. I think that's fine logic there. Eight 10:30 is approaching. By 10:30. Again, it's just running at this point. There's no news. There's nothing. It's my stop loss for a small 0.2% win of a position, or it hits my target. These are minuscule gains for me, so zero stress right now on the table. Once it breaks this, the downside, once it breaks the midpoint of this wick to the upside, terminus has been hit for the day, probably for the week. It's crazy how many times price rejected this end dog here at 12.18. The best position today was targeting this end dog. Hindsight speaking. But again, we broke above the end dogs, the first fair value gaps, the opening range. Show us some love. Let us go do other things. Thank you. For a second, third, fourth attempt right now, trying to break this end dog. And I think that's the push. You can see here this shark attack on the 15-second chart pushed into this fair value gap, and now most likely it's going to the upside. Yeah, it has to, it has to run now. if it rejects the end dog, it deserves to go down at this point. It doesn't deserve to hit our targets. But I agree. This is something that like, look at this price action on the 15-second chart. Super messy. All right, guys. All right, boys. Looks like we're gonna hit target here. Confidence 80%. Slowly creeping up to 100. It'll never get to 100 though. It would be very unfortunate to see price never hit our targets. I'm moving my stop loss right now to below this low here. I'm at 0.5% profit. So I guess regardless, it's a win-win. Price wants to, and this is why I don't usually trade these days. And if I do, I trade almost nothing, just pushing something. But this is very, very messy price action. And I'm going to get tapped out probably here. Let's see here. We get tapped out. We're closing down the stream. And most likely, I think I'm going to be back. I might trade the Monday, the 23rd, but most likely I'll be back on the 6th. I'm going to keep my profits and come back after FOMC. Most likely going to Dominican for the holidays. I just got to figure out like what's happening with this drone shit, because right now there's like all these UAPs flying around in the States, and flying is it's a bit scary right now. I don't know what the hell's happening. Perfect. And I'm out. Okay. So I took just under 0.5% of gain. I think, were we right on today's bias? Overall, yes, right? This was the Judah, came up to the upside. It broke these first fair value gaps, and then it's traded higher, right? Unfortunately, it didn't hit my target. It might hit the target later on the day, but if it does, I don't care at this point. This is called FOMC trading. I'm probably not going to live stream FOMC moving forward, because it's not fun to trade through this, even if you have like a meaningful setup. And on that note, I hope you guys have a good holiday break, and you'll see me back live on the 6th. So keep those gains. Don't give them back right before the holidays. Things might get a bit messy. And on that note, stay safe.